Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is Tasha M. Data Trade Whisper. Ladies and gentlemen, as you log on this morning, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. Along with those affirmations, drop it in the chat where you're calling in from. Along with those affirmations, we are definitely about to get this call started. Guys, it is Tuesday. It is a power-packed Tuesday, all right? You definitely want to make sure that you walk into this Tuesday with the right mindset, all right? So let's go ahead. Let's dive in. Let's see, who do we have on the line? I see Toledo. Good morning. Good morning, Minnesota. Good morning. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning. Here we go. Stone Mountain, good morning. Bahamas, good morning. Good morning, Baltimore, England, good morning. Good morning, guys. Log in. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. So let's make sure we got that mindset. This is a power pack, right? Power pack Tuesday. And we've already analyzed and kind of walked through some things. So, we definitely gonna keep walking through that and keep going. So let's see. I see you guys, Massachusetts, good morning. So keep dropping in the chat as long as you guys log in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get my screen shared together. I'm gonna get this call started. And as you continue to log in, keep dropping it in the chat, but also I want to make sure that I want to know who's on the line. If this is your first time here with us this morning, let me get a 111. And if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. So that's a 111 and a 222. All right, so let me say welcome, and welcome back. So welcome, and welcome back. So for those of you all who are new with us this morning, I just want to officially welcome you to the call. This is a live market analysis. It's a live market analysis. We are live in the market. This is where we take what we've been learning and we implement it, all right? So definitely want to say hello, good morning, and recognize all of you all. But then, so tonight, you also want to make sure that you tune back in because that'll be our basics call. This is a Power Pack Tuesday. In the evenings is when we train. In the morning is when we live in the market and we're implementing that training. And then, of course, on Thursdays is our advanced. Okay, guys? And so that's how you're going to learn the strategy. That's how you're going to learn this information. But we're about to walk you through. Okay, we're about to make sure that you guys are walking through this. All right. All right, so now, do we have any profit this morning? Definitely want to get into the news. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we're going to walk through the news. I'm going to show you, just kind of pay attention. Like this is just to kind of show you how important this is. You guys might have taken profit as this broke, but, we weren't looking for that break, but we also knew not to take a buy at that time. So we definitely got a new 4-hour candle here. So you see that this actually broke that trend line, okay? You see that it broke that trend line. Also, this one broke up. Remember, we talked about it being able to pull up in this zone that it's in. So this one actually continued through. This a new 4-hour candle that we're looking at. So this is that movement as you kind of understand the market. So some of you guys might have dove in. Some of you guys might be waiting on the setup, right? For it to finish and turn around and set up. And so just kind of want you guys to be able to see that. And then, of course, this is the other one that we kind of aligned. And we talked about how this is a harmonic scan. And, of course, how this was where we had the trigger. And you can see how it pulled up just as we talked about still not breaking that level. So for those of you all who are not on the call this morning, you want to go back and watch the stream on our YouTube channel. This is an indices call. Not going to get into that, but for those of you all who were on the call this morning, like I'm not going to redo the call is what I'm saying. So for those of you all who were on the call this morning, you definitely want to go back, watch the stream, like if you were not on a call, because I think that's really going to, help you with what we were discussing, because I want to stay focused on the indices. Now, what do we know? We know we have news. So we always have news, okay? I always have news. And as we're looking at the news, we had news this morning when we were on the call. All right, so we had news this morning when we were on the call, but then, it already played out, but then there's really not much. So this is what I want you guys to know. This is going to be our mixed market Monday, okay? Now, we know yesterday was a holiday, okay? Yesterday was a holiday, US market was not open, banks were not open. And so because of that, our liquidity is going to push. So, we didn't have a call, but, you have to pay attention to what's happening in the market. This gives the market direction. The fundamentals is how we take a trade, which is ultimately how we knew not to trade over here, fundamentals, okay? So this is what, so 9 p.m. Okay, so welcome. Let me just welcome you. And so that's like exactly what I was just explaining. For those of you all who are new, the first time you log on, if you're new, you haven't even gotten to the academy yet, I highly recommend you get into the academy, because this is to enhance the academy, right? This is definitely to enhance like the foundation of your learning. And so the way these calls are set up, I know you want to stay plugged in while you're going through those calls, are those trainings, because it's really going to collapse those time frames for you as far as you being able to understand and kind of dive in and take the actual trades. Now, we do separate our calls. Our calls are designed for you to be successful and also understand how to be in the market and how to take trades. So what that means is that Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are live in the market analyzing what we've trained on. So yes, it's still good. Glad you were on the 5 a.m. call as well. But you'll notice a difference in these calls. The 5 a.m. is geared toward the foreign exchange market, the foreign exchange pairs. This call is geared at the indices, right? Wall Street opens. The U.S. market is already open. It opened at 8 o'clock. And every time I'm referring to is Eastern Standard. So that market is already open. However, 9:30 is when the liquidity really pushes, because that's when the Wall Street bell rings. Now, on top of that, tonight is our basics, right? We lay a strong foundation. You understand what the movement is all about, on top of being able to really understand the BYOB cash out strategy, which I'm about to go over here. And then, of course, on Thursday is when we start with the tools. So everything you hear me talking about from a tools analysis, market structure analysis, that's what we go through on Thursday. Also, you can go to our YouTube channel, Be Your Own Bank Movement, okay? Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. There's a playlist, Trading the BYOB Cash Out. That's also going to help you as well dive in and get started. But, that is just to really create that understanding and that foundation. So, welcome. All right. So let me drop the YouTube channel in here. Just make sure you guys are subscribed, okay? All right. Now, what I want, so basically, it's not a heavy news day, but what I was explaining is the fact that today is going to be, even though it's not a heavy news day, it's not even a heavy news week. NFP gave us some good direction last week. If you notice, right, let's just go back to the pair we were already analyzing. So we got some good direction here, right, with the non-farm payroll reports, that came out, and then of course we had the holiday, but this is what we are in the market. So that kind of gives the market some direction. Now, what we have to do is come in and analyze, but you notice that we don't have heavy news. So yes, we do have a red folder, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I know you've heard it because I heard it too. Red folder move, red folder go, red folder no. Red folder, don't push the button. Red folder, open the folder, click the button, find out what's going on, help you understand how the market moves, okay? That's really important. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to actually dive over and we're going to start looking at these charts. This just triggered for a sell, right? So here I am with my US 30. Now, when that bell rings, I want you guys to understand something from an educated standpoint. I created the strategy, going to walk you through it, but I'm going to show you from the perception and from the perspective that, how everyone, analyze. Perfect practice makes perfect. That's how I'm going to walk you through the trade. However, you're going to see people drop a 777, okay? They've been trading for a while. Also, some people will jump in and jump out really quickly. You don't know your pip reaction time yet. You haven't learned how you react to the market. So I want you to be okay if a trade goes by and you haven't taken it as you analyze, right? I want you guys to be okay with that. So this is what we're going to do. Now that trigger happened. Let's look at this. And we're going to look at this. So you see, I'm at the top. I'm on a higher time frame first. All right. So there are different steps that you take through this. Okay. And what those steps are: analyze a strategy, time frame confluence, and then of course the top-down analysis approach. So those are the 3 steps that we've really been kind of focused on, right? 3 simple indicators, 3 simple steps that's really going to help put you on the other side, like for your understanding, perspective. But what I definitely want to make sure is that as you're looking at this, right, and as you see it, that I can start with my top down approach first. So I don't want you to get in the mindset of, I got to do the strategy first. I need to be on the 15, this and this and that. Remember, every single time frame is just analyzing it and looking at it from a different perspective. Okay. That's what every time frame does. And so I'm looking at this from a different perspective. But like when I open this, no matter what time frame I'm on, this is my real price. No matter what time frame I'm on, it does not change. Well, it's going to change as the market moves. So let me make sure I'm clear. But you notice, like, this is the live price. So here you have your Hikinashi price and you have your live price. So whether I'm on a 4-hour, the 15, the 3-minute, no matter what time frame I'm on, that's the same price. So it's the same market. It's the same information. It's the same thing, right? So you want to make sure you understand that all I'm doing is analyzing it from a different angle. So here we are. This is where the trigger happened for a sale. Now let's zoom out for just a moment. Well, first, before we even do that, let's mark up some of these areas. What we do know is that the US 30 has really had a hard time getting past this area right here. So first thing first, but we're gonna go over the strategy, but I'm trying to get you in this area. What you're seeing, and I can actually move this up and make it a psychological level, right? We can make it a midpoint. All right, so I can, like I said, I can make this a psychological level where it's that midpoint. All I did is move it like a pip or so. I mean, not a pip, a point. We're talking about indices. Okay, let me get right so you could be right. So we're talking about indices. So you notice how the market is reacting around this zone, which happens to be a support and resistance line, right? So it's been significantly rejecting off of this area. All right, so we have definitely been rejecting. We definitely are rejecting on this area. And so as I'm looking, okay, I see the rejection happening. What you also see is where this trigger for a sell on the 5-minute. And so at the bottom of this little zone area is right up in here. Now, are we on a level? No, we're not. I can make it on a level, put this on the 300 for simplicity, for the sake of keeping it simple, right? So here we go. So now we know that we're in between these 2 psychological levels. And we've been here. Actually, you know what? Let me adjust that, because I'm not gonna make that one, because it is like for the indices, what I want, actually, this is that midpoint, but I'm trying to make a point to you guys. So this one is 1 as well. Okay, so let me not change the color. It is 1, but when I'm talking about the strength of them, all right, like, let me show you. So 35 is down here. So let me be very, very, very clear, because I want you guys to understand. So each one of these, the more zeros, basically the more zeros, right? Go back to the psychological training and you see the more zeros, the stronger it is. So this one, let me thicken because it's a midpoint. So I'll do it that way. I'll thicken these 2. We want to keep it blue because it is an identified level. So this is the main one, right? Where it's 3 zeros behind it. And then this is that midpoint. And then 36 would be that next level, right? From 35 to 36. And then of course, now you see that midpoint. If you go back to our training, that's gonna make a whole lot of sense. So psychological levels are just those levels in the market, because we tend to round things. So that's where a lot of transactions happen. So for those of you all who are new with us, that's just where a lot of transactions take place. So you have the more zeros, the stronger it is, right? We round to 100, we round to 1,000, right? So of course, if I round to 1,000, if I round to 10,000, that's gonna be stronger than if I round to 50. To 100. Now here, that midpoint, we round to 100, but we also gonna round to 50, right? So depending on where you are. So that's what I mean about a midpoint. However, we still round psychologically. If it's $18, you'll say 20. Now, is that as strong as a 50 or 100? No, it's not. But that's still what we do psychologically. And so that's why when I was saying I wanted to change this color, I was like, well, maybe not. Let me just explain it so you'll understand that I didn't want you looking at this one the same way you look at this one, these two, but it's still the same thing, right? So we'll call it a mini level, okay? And the thing about it is, from here to here, that's 100 points. We're talking about indices, okay? This is indices. So if I was to put another smaller level on here, right, around at 354, which is right up in this area, thin it out, right? We're gonna thin it out. Now you can see how the market is kind of reacting. And so that's 100 points in between there. So I don't want you guys trying to take a trade for like 1,000 points, right? I just want you guys to really be able to see these levels and how the market's reacting to these levels. So now you know how we come up to a coloring book before we even get started trading. We went from a clean chart to now our chart is marked up. And now look, we just triggered again. We triggered right before the call, we just triggered again. And so it's not too far off, so we just gonna leave it. But I wanted to help you guys identify where you are in the market. So you see we've been rejecting here, right? We're rejecting. So now here I am, my stochastic is on its way back up on my hour, but then now look at that little nice curve that it took. So it rejected off of this area as well. So you see now, right? You see a market before we even get started. My 4 hours in a sell as well. So you see where we kind of are. We have not broken this yet, guys. We've been looking at this all last week. We're looking at it again. We're in the same area, the same space, the same place with the same thing going on. And so while you all were writing and dropping those 777s, I just want you guys to really, as you look at this and you really understand, you need to know where you are. So now we're going to drop down. Okay, we triggered on the 5 minute. We know this is around the space where these triggers are happening. All right. So now we see we're definitely approaching an oversold area. So what are we looking for with the BYOB cash out strategy? And guys, if you have questions, comments, or testimonies or anything as we go through this, just go ahead and drop it in the chat. Regardless of where you're joining us from, drop it in the chat and we'll definitely make sure that I answer those questions. I'll walk through it. Definitely make sure we get that answered for you. I definitely want to make sure that we do that. All right. So now where I'm looking, what would the BYOB cash out strategy be? It would be here. Blue line, cross over the red and a downward momentum. You got a red candle with a flat top, PSR flip. Notice that my PSR flip first. That's okay. Blue line, cross over the red right here. You had a PSR flip first, and now I'm here. Now, am I on the 5 minute? Absolutely, I am. I sure am. Because it's so much liquidity, okay? It's so much liquidity in the market that I want you guys to understand that you could come in here and you could trade, right? You can come in here and you can analyze from there. But I'm not I'm gonna enter the trade lower time frame. But you notice we still had to identify where we were. I still needed to know where I was and what was going on. So from my 5 minute, I go to my 30, I definitely have confluence, right? We definitely have confluence, okay? So 5 minute chart, here we are, blue line, cross over the red and downward momentum, red candle, flat top, PSR flip first. Come on up here to my 30. When I'm up here on my 30, you can see I definitely have confluences bouncing off of there. Then of course, I'm gonna drop down. When I drop down, it's still going. Like this is that tighter entry. This is all the activity. So you notice that we still have a PR flip here. You notice that the red candle was there. You notice there. So you actually have a good entry point. All right. Well, we would have entered that trade. And so you see it broke through. So you definitely would have had to take profit. And, you know, this would have actually come down to about this point right up in here, which is where the market is, which makes sense. Okay. Now, right, that's where you see some of that rejection. That definitely makes sense. Questions, comments, testimonies so far. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. Any? All right, so let's look at what we are. We know we don't touch it before, right? We know we don't touch it before the bell. We're oversold. We're oversold. It's a lot of sellers in the market, okay? It's a lot of sellers in the market. So we already identified, okay, our major areas, our major zones, okay? So now as I'm looking, I'm just gonna drop this on here, right? Just gonna drop this on here because right here where you're seeing it, right, that's where that rejection is. So when I zoom in, I can actually see, and now it makes sense and you understand why we had a trigger here. And let me change this to the right color because that was also a trigger. So we had two triggers right up in here, but they are also sitting on those support and resistance lines where you can kind of see where, you know, like what I'm saying, as far as this has impacted the market, right? So that's that. So now you see, look, we got that sideways action. I would not take this past here, regardless of how it comes out. The market might spike until we get assurance that it's cleared this zone. All right. If it clears that zone, we got space and opportunity. But I'm not doing anything unless it clears that zone. Not touching it. You know, we'll see what happens at the bell. All right. Any questions, any comments, any testimonies? Well, nice triggers, though. Beautiful triggers. We all see it. You walking through it. Are you ready for the bell? Let's see. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This might correct some. So the market can pull up. It's just going to be depend on the fundamentals. Because as you're looking at this, you can see where this is definitely oversold. And the market is not going to stay oversold. It's not going to stay oversold. It can't stay overbought. It can't stay oversold. It can't stay overbought. It cannot stay oversold. It cannot stay overbought. It will be overbought and it will be oversold, but it can't stay there. You guys got that? I repeated it like 100 times. So you got, I want it embedded in your mind. All right. I need it in your head, in your mind. So now let's go here and look at my S&P. All of them kind of look the same, guys. And I mean, this is even, as I look right here, I mean, look at the consolidation that's to happen. So we went from here to here. All right. And for those of you all who said something to me in the past about the market structure, where you kind of see how it's looking, right? So you can kind of see, not like necessarily market structure, but when you're asking about market patterns and stuff, I told you guys, I know the stuff, but I'm gonna let the market tell you. But this is a lot of indecision. As you can see, it kind of started tightening up in there. All right, I can actually put another one outside of them wicks. When you start looking at it, you can see how it started tightening up in there. And so as you start dropping down, right, you see this is why we're consolidated right up in here. All right. You can definitely see. We'll see what happened at the bell. We want to respect those zones, areas. And I see a psychological level right up in here. Right. So just kind of, right, the more zeros, the stronger it is, guys. The more zeros, the stronger it is. The more zeros, the stronger it is. Okay, we got about 5 minutes before we, right? So you can see where we are, okay? And we're gonna drop down and we're gonna wait on this bell. Now make sure we drop down on there, which we are. All right, S&P, doesn't this look the same? Do I need to mark it up? So NASDAQ, S&P, look just like the US 30, right? Look, even my stochastic where it curved up and got a little hook back on it. They normally hang out together, guys. They normally hang out together. They do. They are the best of friends. So if one doing something and one doing something else, it is reason to raise question, right? It is reason to, raise a red flag. Like, okay, let me sit back and let me think. Now, do they have to be together? No, they don't. But it kind of raises that. Like, hey, what's going on, guys? Why are you not hanging out together? What is the deal? Right? So we're kind of in that same thing, doing the same thing. In that same space, in that same place, right? US 30, S&P looking the same. Right? US 30, S&P looking the same. All right. So now, we got to do a check on gold. All right. So let's look. All right. So that's at the top of the call. We trigger for a sell on a higher time frame, which means, let's see, it's going to pull in a correction first. So 118.08. All right, so this is where that trigger is happening, okay? This is where the trigger is. So far we've done our indices, we got to do gold, we look at Bitcoin. So far, Bitcoin might wait till after the bell. Let me see. I don't want to miss no trade. Yeah, it might wait till after the bell. All right, so here we go, right? That's what that trigger was. It happened on the hour. Definitely oversold. Like I just told you, it'll probably be in that correction. Look at how we were been selling. So you understand why that trigger makes sense. But we're definitely being held right here around this area. And if I put that psychological level on here so you can see just in case it break out, this is where you guys think gold is bipolar. Gold is not bipolar. We don't listen. Gold will bounce off of this thing like a ping pong ball. I'm just here to tell you. So you want to pay attention to these levels. And you notice how close we are to that midpoint, 5.5046. So we're real close to that midpoint as well. So we're going to drop down. We're going to see questions, comments, testimonies, guys. Questions, comments, testimony. None? Okay. No questions? Let's get back over here to US 30. Hold on. Get this on here. So we have about 2 minutes left. I don't think we have any Bitcoin triggers. 4 hour for a buy. We'll look at that in just a moment, right? We'll come back to that. Hey, you guys were more up at, what time were we? This is not a lecture. Let me say it like that. I don't want to sound like I feel like I'm in a lecture hall. Look how it already started moving. We're not even, we still got 2 minutes to the bell. This thing already started moving. But one thing we don't do is we know that will not work out in your favor. That will not be, that it will not always work out in your favor. Let me say it that way. If you don't operate that patience, profit, you try to jump in a trade 2 minutes before a bell, or 2 minutes before, a red folder, that you setting yourself up. You setting yourself up. You setting yourself up. We're not going to do that at all, right? Not at all. All right, so here we are. We're down to a minute. We got about a minute. So guys, any questions, anything? You got anything? It is a Power Pack Tuesday. All right, nothing? All right, we got about, this is like the longest minute ever. It'd be like when I'm with my trainer. He'd be like, oh my gosh, it's still a minute. How many seconds do we have left? We waiting on that countdown. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. So here we go. We are down to 20 seconds. If somebody was trying to add something, just go ahead and drop it in the chat for me, please. We're down to 10 seconds, 10 seconds. And let's see what our mixed market Monday, Tuesday, right? We know it's called a mixed market. So Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Look at that. Look at there. Now, I want you to remember we are oversold. Let's see. We got a new 15, new 30 is straight down. We're oversold on the lower time frame. So we're going to get a little bounce off of here. We should definitely get a little bounce off of here because we are oversold. Like, look at how this stochastic starting to curve. Exactly what I'm mentioning. So even though we had that drop from there to there, all right, that drop happened right before the bell. We do not do that. Perfect practice makes perfect. You know, I hear it all the time. Practice makes perfect. That is the wrong thing. We got to shift our mentality and shift our way of thinking because practice does not make perfect. You can keep practicing the wrong thing. You could keep practicing. You know, like we're practicing. I am a BYOB educated master. I'm an educated master trader anointed for wealth. So look at how this is kind of pulling down. Let's see if we break this. Okay, guys, it looks like we're going to. I need that curve to come back with me. So, but if you practice, oh my gosh, I don't understand this. See how this is bouncing off on this NASDAQ? If you practice, you don't understand something, then guess what? That's the wrong mindset to be in. You're going to practice failure. And you can do that. You can practice failure. And guess what? You're going to operate in failure. So we're going to perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. We're going to practice the right habits, the right thoughts, the right mindset, we don't practice failure, not BYOB. You can't be BYOB and operate in that mindset. Everything in excellence is all we do. All right, so keep your charts up. Keep your charts up. You see this curve right here. Keep your charts up. Like, I need you. Remember, if I didn't take the trade, you're going to see a 777. I guarantee it. I already know it. I know who you are. I know who's going to drop it. I'm not going to call them out, but I'm going to wait for them to drop it. All right. So you want to make sure that we bypass all of this before you even attempt. Right? Before there's even an attempt, because this is that congestion, that construction zone, right? That's what you're seeing. That's what we're looking at, that nice little construction zone over to the side. So we want to make sure we've cleared all of the construction before we do anything. All right. You see your S&P is going through the same things, but it hasn't reached. It's kind of stuck right up here. All right. Same thing. So look at how my stochastic on my lower time frame got that curve up. It's going through the same thing. That mixed market Monday that we expect is actually happening. It might wait. Look at that curve coming back. I was going to say it might wait till the 5 minutes to really get a feel and a flow, but it looks like we're trying to do it now. You see how we're pushing through there? Now look at my stochastic. We'll get a new candle here in a minute. No thing. All right, guys. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you this your entry point. Let me tell you now, I can't hang out with you all day. I love y'all, but I don't even want to be with my daughter all day. She got to go back to school. You know what I mean? So I can't be with you all day. I can't do it. So you got to know. You have to be able to understand these charts. You got to be able to push the button. You have to be able to be in that trade, right? So we're going to walk you through so you understand. But I'm not going to give you like, oh, that entry point. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to walk you through the analyzation of analyzing these trades. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. All right. That's exactly what we're going to do. All right. So let's see. Let us see. Right. So keep watching that. Let's talk about this Bitcoin. Keep your charts up. Ask your questions. Okay. All right. Looking, I was trying to see if we got any more triggers. So Bitcoin on a 4 hour. All right, on the 4 hour trigger for a buy. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop it. We're gonna drop it. Keep your charts up. Keep watching that US 30. If we got 1 minute. We got 1 minute. Don't like this, but we only got 1 minute. So to that new 5 minute. Not even a whole minute anymore. We should get some shift. We should get some shift here. You see it? You see how it's that's starting to come there? Yep, what I tell you? Didn't I tell you what's gonna go back down? I told you. I told you, I told you. All right. So we came through. All right, so let's see. Let me get back over here to Bitcoin. Okay, so let's see. Bitcoin trigger for a buy on the 4 hour. So let's go to my 4 hour. All right, so this is where Bitcoin is. I'll put psychological levels on here in a minute, okay? I'll put them on here. You guys should be watching. You should be, oops, I went too far, right? You should be paying attention. You know, you see we already broke this. You kind of see that? You should be paying attention. Make sure we keep that curve down, though. Let's make sure we are in confluence all the way across the board. So here, Bitcoin, it triggered for a buy, right? Bitcoin triggered for a buy on my 4 hour. Look at what my 4 hour is doing. Look at my 4 hour. Where's my confluence on my 4 hour? Where is it? My confluence on my 4 hour is on my daily. Okay, so let's put that daily chart up. Now, you can see why it triggered for a buy. All right, you see where we're sitting here. This is a new daily. Now, remember, it take a whole day to get a candle. It take a whole day to get a candle. We got 10 hours left before we get another candle, an entire day. And remember, it's not the day where you are. We all on the same international day line when the markets roll. So we have the whole day to get a new candle. So this is strong, even though we have some rejection happening right here. Got a little bit of rejection right there. Okay, so come back down here when I'm looking at Bitcoin, and we know that it triggered for a buy on the 4 hour. However, as I'm looking, right, that's a valid trigger, but this has to finish closing out. So my correction on my higher time frame is much stronger than the correction on the higher, right? The correction on the higher time frame is much stronger than the corrections that happen like on my lower time frames where your 5 minutes are at. Is this making sense to you? So here my hour. I know I'm kind of going through all of our assets that we normally analyze in the mornings. Okay. So you can see how we're rejecting off of here. This is that rejection point on the daily, right? You see where we rejected on the daily. Okay. That's that rejection point on the daily. However, what you're noticing is it triggered for a buy on my higher time frame. But if look at my 4 hour. My 4 hour is still in a strong sell. So how far are we really going to go down? And you see me put that trend line on there, which we already broke. Look like it'll try to retest and pull down some more. But we are definitely oversold. So it's definitely going to pull up some more. Didn't I tell you I knew who was going to drop at 777? So now I will pay attention to these levels. I told you I know my people. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. All right, so you can see, look, it's moving, guys. It's moving. Let's get back over there. All right, so you can see where my levels are with Bitcoin, okay? You can definitely see where those levels are with Bitcoin. And this is a strong one. Look how many zeros are in there. Now you got the one at 5-1, right? You're gonna have one at the 5-1, but obviously this has more zeros, so that's a lot stronger. All right, we are clear. I told you guys, keep it up. So you see where we are. A trade in profit should always remain in profit. Now I'm telling you that because we already know we have a mixed market, okay? We already know we have a mixed market. So, and this moves at $1 a point at a minimum. Knowing this can close out right here, which we just discussed, we are now sitting here where we're meeting the left. So, there goes 777. I told y'all. I see you on YouTube. So you see right here where we're looking left, okay? We're looking left. And so it looks like we're trying to come down and break through all of that, okay? So if I'm up here and I put that, you see how raggedy this is as it pulled down? These are the things I kind of want you to pay attention to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we got a new trigger at all or anything like that. So let me see here. Nope, no new trigger, just the same ones. But you can kind of see, don't want that color. you can definitely see how the market reacts to the area that it's in right now. So if you're in a trade, you might have got a little bit of pullback. Some of you guys decided to take profit, so you're getting that, but you see we're now breaking that line. That's where that pullback came from. Very important. So I told you guys, this clears, that's number space and opportunity, and it's going to be beautiful. So it cleared there, it came down here, and now it has to clear this area for it to continue. S&P finally closed out. So we had S&P up. So are you guys, have your computers up too? NASDAQ is kind of wicking out, right? We're not paying no attention to NASDAQ right now. We don't want to do that. Yay. I can tell who does, and I can tell who's still be in the bed. Right, I could tell. All right. So you should see it look like it's rejected some off of that line. Come on, drop down, which is normal. It's gonna reject and then it'll keep on. Yes. Look at that 777s. Y'all making money this morning. So let me go ahead and break this down for my new people. I know we had quite a few of you all that this is your first time here with us this morning. So if this is your first time here with us this morning, as you can see, we analyze charts together, okay? Our profit call, we analyze together. So I'm going to show you what is a take profit? A take profit is a trend line, okay? A take profit zone or a take profit area is nothing more than a trend line. So as you begin understanding your take profits, as you begin understanding how the market flows and how it's moving, you understand how to take those take profits, where you set them at. Because come on, 777s. Because you understand where to put these, how to put them on the charts, where they need to be, right? And that's why you see so many 777s, because you guys are empowered. You can't hang with me all day. You shouldn't even want to hang with me all day. But you do want to be on most of the day, because today is a Power Pack Tuesday. We come get empowered and then go empower your check account. Go empower your personal bank account and then go empower somebody else. That's how this works. Go get empowered and then go empower your bank account. So that's what you do. Keep plugging in. And the ones that are consistently dropping those 777s, look at there, GU 777 too. The ones that are consistent in the 777, you guys are definitely plugged in. You are your own the market is your own personal ATM, and you are BYOB master traders. That is what you are. That is what you are. Let me see here. Yes! She's the patience made me profitable today. Yes, and I said, look, I'm sorry because I don't know the name. I know your name, but let me forgive me because I automatically said she, but 777 means that we have taken profit. 777 means we have made some money. Thank you. Now look, so I know I saw GU 777. All right, so are we breaking this line? We finished with the retest? Not yet. You see how we dropped down? Dr. B, I want to hang with you all day, Ms. Dyer. You don't have to sit at the luxury table. Buy yourself like geniuses do. I love it. So this is what I was talking about. I got to drop down to see all the activity, right? I got to drop down to see all the activity. So what you saw was it tap on that line that we discussed. You saw the retest, and then you see the continuation. Even though I'm oversold, look at how my blue line is still trying to pull down. Now, I know, where do we start? Blue line, cross over the red, downward momentum. We got 1 minute. Let's see what this next candle, because that curve is starting right there. It's going to always happen around those support and resistance lines. So blue line, cross over the red, and the downward momentum. Red candle, flat top, PSR flip to the top. Markets moving. Get to that support and resistance line. You get the correction. Now, understand this. Your indices, I know you got some wonderful questions. Indices is your bonus check. All right. You can start wherever you want to, but I'm a highly recommend that you do understand some of the fundamentals of support and resistance lines, fundamentals of training, understand the strategy before you take an indice trade. It's going to move, okay? Indices move. And that's why we're all the way down here showing you how we're reacting to the support and resistance lines, right? How we tap on it, pull back, break through, retest it, and pull out. So that's why we're down here showing you all the intricate movements that happen on the indices because of where we are in the market with it, okay? Because of the way it moves. So you look at it. So these are things you have to understand, because this pullback might have been $30. That pullback might have been $30. And you guys are like, oh my gosh, do you see what US 30 is doing? Oh my gosh, right? And then your lot size be all jacked up because you're trying to compound it like you do the foreign exchange. No, ma'am, no, sir. Let's not do that. Let's operate. Let's do it. All right. Trust me, I've been there when nobody told me. I wish somebody would have told me. You know how you guys do those things. Nobody told me. I wish somebody would have said. So, and because I was one of them people when I started trading, I'm telling you, you start touching indices, it's like, oh my gosh, I can trade the Dow Jones. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. But guess what? Nobody told me, to get my whole mind together, because when that thing move, it move. You like it when it move in profit, but then when it pull back, you be like, oh my gosh. So I'm just trying to give y'all the secret. I'm trying to give you the secret sauce so you don't have to spaz out. We don't want to spaz out. We want to walk in profit and make sure we're doing it right. So you see how it reacts. All right, so look at gold. Gold is reacting to this line as well, right? Gold is reacting as well. Any questions, any comments, any testimonies, anything? Look at S&P trying to break through. Bitcoin, I'm gonna let it be great while it gets its life together. You see Bitcoin, we're not gonna touch that at this moment, but you see how it's, we did trend lines. We've been doing trend lines. We're bringing in everything, right? We're gonna bring it all in. I'm trying to click over here. All right, you see? So once again, we're not trading. We're not trading from the 1 minute. We're entering. It's a difference. Because when you try to trade, when people say, oh, I'm trading on a 5 minute, I'm trading on 3 minute, I'm trading on 15, then you completely bypass your understanding of, you think that you want to just dive in and kind of quote unquote trade from that point. No, you want to enter and trade is two different things. Enter a trade is two different things. It's completely different, because you can see right here, I'm on a 5 minute. How would you enter this? Like, how would you enter this right here? How would you enter that trade? You have absolutely no idea. You're not entering that trade right there. So once you got it all analyzed and all marked up, I got my triggers, everything is pulling through, then I drop down and I enter the trade. And I watch how the market moves, right? That's why you always hear me say my lower time frames are my entry points. It's all the activity. And because it's all the activity, you can use it to enter the market. It gives you a more precise entry point. So if I'm rolling with this, then guess what? You can definitely see how you enter the market. If I got a nice, perfect setup, right? Look at this. Even on the 1 minute, structure, blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum, red candle flat top, then I got a PSR flip to the top right here. And it's nothing but structure. But I can't take the trade from here. I analyze, do what I need to do, and then I enter the trade. So you can see where that is kind of flat line right there. So that was that new 15 minute. That's right, the one we were waiting on. Look at it. We're about to get another 5 minute. Look at this one. Let's see. Oh, can we break through? Now, sometimes it's at the 45. Sometimes it might not happen until after the 10. Okay. I see you guys, though. I see you. Look at that. You see it, what I mean by activity? All right, 20 seconds to the next 5 minute candle. We might be getting held right here, guys. Let's see in a second. It looked like it's trying to break through though. But this is what happens. You get held in those areas. 765. All right, so you can see, right? Look at it, look at it. You see that little curve that's happening right here? So you see, like this 5-minute counter that we just got, I dropped down to my 3-minute. Look what's happening right here. And of course, look at my 1 minute. So any questions, any comments? All righty, nothing. Okay, so the big takeaway from today, other than the money, the big takeaway from today, other than profit, the big takeaway from today is market reaction. And you guys being able to see how the market reacts on these time frames, and like how the market reacts in these zones, and how the market reacts to your support and resistance lines, right? That's the biggest takeaway from today. Now look at my stochastic right here. We have 10 seconds on this 1 minute. You know, look at what it's doing. So it's not going to stay oversold forever. So anytime, like I'm pointing out to you guys that we are oversold, that's always reason for caution, or like reason for pause, reason to kind of say, okay, what's going on? Look like we're trying to break out of that little zone. You got a PSR flip right there. Once that happens, right, tighter entry, as you know, but like I say, you want to make sure, like this one started pulling down again. It might not do anything until after 10 o'clock, but that's okay. So you can definitely see how we're pulling. So tighter entry. It lost some of that push that it had, but that's okay. All right. All right, look at the NASDAQ. Nope, let NASDAQ be great by itself. All right, guys, any questions before we close out and help you understand what's happening today so you could walk in that wolf? Anything. All right. Well, today, once again, so for those of you all who are new, let me officially welcome you to the Be Your Own Bank Profit Call. That is what this call is. Live market analysis is what we're doing on this call. So that is what these calls are about. Our 5 a.m. is geared for our foreign exchange market. Our 9 a.m. is geared toward our indices, and we trade based on what the market gives us. With Be Your Own Bank, you're going to learn how to ride the wave of the market. You're going to learn how to navigate, how to enhance the skill set that you've already learned. Today is a Power Pack Tuesday. So let me tell you what today offers you. Today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yes, 5 p.m., you are going to experience our Hidden in Plain Sight broadcast. Because when we say 2 million families financially educated and impacted, guys, we mean 2 million families. We mean we want you all to make sure. It's Mike's. We want you all to make sure that you are walking in the wealth that you ultimately desire. That is what that is all about. And then tonight at 9 p.m., you have our pit master, who is a phenomenal educator, and she is going to break down what the Be Your Own Bank cash out strategy is. She's going to lay the foundation to what is being done here with the Be Your Own Bank movement and helping you, right? So tonight is your foundation call. And then, of course, that is followed by a talk with the finance doctor. And then, of course, on Thursdays, now, if you like options HFX, that's Wednesday nights. But on Thursday nights is our advanced, where I'm going to walk you through how to utilize the tools and all of the resources, help you identify your market structure. So basically, we're going to start the week out by laying the foundation, and then we're going to build the house as we close out the week, right? We're going to keep doing this. So we are definitely excited to be here with each and every last one of you all. And so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are new, get back with the person that invited you out. Because some of the questions I can tell sometimes, like if you're in the academy or not, let's make sure you go ahead and get enrolled so you can have access to all the resources and everything that is offered. You definitely want to get enrolled. Put yourself and your family on the other side. All right. You see what I mean? How it's starting to slow down some. So 10 o'clock, we get a little bit of momentum. So let's go ahead and close out strong here this morning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to what? Before I do that, you guys see how this PSR didn't flip? What I tell you about tight entry point? So even down here, as I walk you guys through that, we never got that PSR flip to enter that trade. So very, 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 very important, right? Especially when you're using it as a tighter entry. So, all right. So nobody should have actually entered that trade. Okay, guys. So with that being said, let's close out strong. This is Miss Brownlee. And guys, remember, this is a September to Remember, BYOB. Miss Brownlee.
Yes, Mr. Dyer, thank you so much. And my testimony is wow, wow, wow. Let's pray. Great morning, God. This is your day, and we are your children. You are showing us your way, for your ways are high above our ways, and we say yes to your will, yes to your way, yes to your word. God, we thank you so much that your word says wisdom is a principal thing, and with all our getting, we must get understanding. Daily, our understanding is rapidly increasing, which means our skill set is increasing also. And again, we ask you, God, who are we that you are so mindful of us? It's so obvious that your mind is full of us, and we're so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful for the dynamic dream team and their commitment to assure our advance and our growth, God. Continue to bless and anoint Mr. Rogers, Miss Dyer, Dr. Bythewood, Miss Anderson, Miss Brantley, Miss Perry, Mr. Sims, Pastor Washington, and Bishop Rolliston. Bless and anoint every member of this, the largest economic movement known to mankind, as you lead us to that next million households by March 28, 2022, God, that they might be empowered, educated, and impacted as we are. And we take full responsibility for your anointing upon our lives so that we can fulfill our ministry to absolute freedom, God. Bless this Power Pack Tuesday in Jesus' name, and we'll continue to give you praise, glory, and honor. Amen. And thank God. This officially ends this prophet call. And we're going down from this place rejoicing that we've learned so much and we're changing moment by moment from glory to glory. We'll meet you at 5 o'clock on Rejoice 904 for our broadcast. God bless.